America. I'm glad to have my brother Ray Caesar Leo here with us for another one of Ray's Take. And he got a provocative question for you today. Caesar, what you got?
I do. Normally, I spend the first few minutes of the segment, I guess, going on a slight monologue, if you will, but this is a group activity. And the question is real simple. You got two young men in the NBA that are tearing it up right now, impressing me to the point where I have to go back and apologize to one of these young men. The other one, I knew he would be great, in Devin Booker. I knew Devin was going to be this guy. When you have guys like Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, that say, he has that Mamba mentality. When you have guys like Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Charles Barkley, singing your praises as a young man, we know you have that mentality and that ability to go to the next level. These guys know. I'll tell America now. When Trae Young entered the conversation, I started calling Trae Young Diet Steph Curry. Well, to that I say, Trae Young, if you see this, I owe you a sincere apology. All right, the most sincere apology, because you are not that. You are Ice Trae, and as Marvin said, you have always been Ice Trae, and nobody can take that. This young man is amazing, absolutely amazing, and doing it in a way that I don't even think Trae really understands. Right? I think he believes in himself to be at this level, but the way that he is playing, this is how veterans play with years of postseason ability under their belt. So I pose the question to my brothers: who do you choose? Who you got? Ice Trae or Book? I'll go last simply because I get to ask the question in this case. But we'll go with the host first. Wells, who you got?
Hey, man, look at this, man.
Come on.
Hey, I told y'all there ain't no problem. And I said that because I'm taking that boy in the A-town. I'm taking that boy in the A. I am hoping that we going to slab out to the A and that we're able to go to State Farm and check this boy out and allow me to go get some of those lemon pepper wings.
Yeah.
That boy, I keep calling him the villain. In a good, how in some
in the best way.
Okay, like that legendary role that Heath Ledger played in the Joker.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's the Batman, but Heath was that movie.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? On the slick, you were kind of like enthralled by that villain. That's how Trae is for me.
Yeah.
That boy walked into New York, and they got that legendary meme now where that crowd just looking at him, and he got like this villainous look on his face as he turned around looking at them. Yeah. And then right after, threw a dime. Dude missed the layup, but he threw a dime on that out of bounds play.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? So he took New York out of there, and I picked New York. Yes, it did, because they were the number one defense. Okay. I took New York. I took Drew Randall. Look at him. I did. I took Drew Randall on like my first team All NBA. I thought they were gonna get it done. I took their coach as the coach of the year. Trae said, I don't care nothing about that.
Any of that.
That boy went to Philly, who we know they booed Santa Claus. They booed Santa Claus. They booed Kobe. They booed Bean.
Philadelphia's own, by the way. Yeah.
Joe tell me they booed Beyonce, and we know how these folks feel about Beyonce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't care. That boy checked them off the list, and now he dealing with Milwaukee. Well, Milwaukee, I ain't never seen them have that culture like that with the fan base or whatever like that. But it's still a tall task. You facing two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I know he had the bad game in game 2. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna say when that boy have a bad game, it ain't because he's scared. It might be because he undersized and he got these longer defenders on him and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It ain't because that scout scared. I don't take the Ice Trae. I like what Book doing. Y'all know I like that he reveals Bean.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate that. I like that he got the B legendary tat and got it written on his shoes. I like that he tried to do the pull-up J's like Bean and Mike. You know what I'm saying? I like all that. But it's just that right now I still see CP3 as the leader of that team.
Gotcha.
And I see Ice Trae as the leader of his team. Book may show me he develops into, he's the guy. Hopefully, you know, CP3 can hand it off to him, and we see the Suns keep doing their thing. Hopefully, they lose to the Lakers in the future. But
slide that in there.
Gotta slide that in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying all this stuff about a Phoenix Sun.
It's true.
But you know, my Lakers have a little history with them Suns now. Okay, so I gotta go Ice Trae. JoJo, who you got?
Okay.
I can't believe you said all that, man. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, you thought I was going. I know it. America. Something wrong with this one. He is a colorist. He thought I was gonna pick Book. Just like your yellow boy. That's what he want to say.
Trae yellow too, though.
Okay.
That's true. That's true. That's
Trae
true.
yellow too.
Okay. So that what you trying to say?
No.
Okay.
It's because the whole,
you had to watch him, America. This guy, JoJo, you have to watch him.
Oh my gosh. Book, as you said, Book reveres Kobe, so I doubt you would probably, go that route.
Trae got love for Game too.
Yeah, but it's clear. It's Ice Trae, man. Like, it's no doubt. Like, both are in their first playoffs. Now, don't get me wrong, both actually lit it up because Book gave you the 40-point triple-double.
He did.
In game one. Mm-hmm. But I got to go with Ice Trae because what it boils down to, I see him as the leader of the team.
Yeah.
He drives it. He scores. If he's not scoring, he dishing the ball. Like, it's nobody else on that team that we would even say is the star of that team. But that's nothing to take away from Book because Book say, look, all you gonna ask for me to do is score. I can do that in my sleep.
Yeah,
give me CP3. You know what I mean? So, but it's Trae, man. Bruh, they were not supposed to win game one against Milwaukee. They were not supposed to win. They only won because he went stupid. Like, and then, like you said, what he did to Philly, I picked Philly. Like, in a game 7. This is his first playoffs, man. In a game 7. Embiid done played in a game 7 before. Ben Simmons done played in a game 7 before. That's the man's first game 7. And he came through. And then, of course,
with matchup too, man. They were guarding with a lot of length in that series.
Bro, Simmons is 6'10".
And then what, Thibault? I think they were guarding him with.
Thibault? Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what's hilarious. They couldn't put anybody, I'm gonna say 6'4", 6'3" and under on Trae. Because he make them look horrible. They had to use somebody tall.
I don't think you're gonna be able to do that the rest of his career.
You're not. He too
big guards only. That's
Listen, it. If you shooting 30-foot trays and you got this floater, it's gonna be hard to stop that. It's gonna be hard to stop that.
Young point guards, I told y'all, if you don't have a floater in your arsenal, you're really not trying to score the ball.
You're not
Shout out to my young boy Didi, Kendarius Smith. He know I used to always tell him to work that floater. He trying to tell me he's scoring. I scored 30 over there in Europe without the floater. I ain't talking about Europe. Bring your tail over here and score that 30 without a floater.
So yeah, going with Ice Trae, man.
When Caesar Leo, now it's on.
Okay, now it's on me. Now it's on me.
Yeah.
I wish T was here to give his 2 cents because I think I know where he would go. I always like to get T's perspective on these things because he's very
What need to come to work? That's what you need to do.
You're trying to say he contrarian or something?
Very contrarian. So, in honor of T, I'm going to be the contrarian. All right.
Okay.
Devin Booker is finally getting what I call like his just due. And yes, it took CP3 being in Phoenix for him to get it. Right. I understand that. I respect that. And I can understand why people might say, well, CP3 is the reason why. I was even a guy that said that until I really started watching the games. Mm-hmm. CP3, who, by the way, people who don't know, is one of my favorite players ever, right? Just as a former point guard myself and basketball IQ, I respect the hell out of CP3. It's just that is what it is. Devin Booker is an assassin, is a real life assassin. So much so, my wife reminded me of this story. I went to Washington D.C. for a week, one of my previous jobs, just out, doing some work. And I landed. You know how your phone is on, airplane mode. As I land, I turn my phone on. This is a few years back. I turn my phone on, and all these alerts start popping up about Devin Booker. Mm-hmm. Devin Booker goes for 70. Huh?
Yeah.
That's not this year. That is 1, 2. That may even be like 3 years ago now. I think it's 2 years ago, but it may be 3 years ago.
That's so long. No, that's so long ago. I was still in the classroom as a teacher. And coach.
Okay.
Me and T were at a photo shoot.
Okay.
This is before I put out my first EP. I put out my first EP, I want to say in 2018.
All right.
So this 2016, I think.
So that would mean that young man was 20 or 21 years old. He's 24 now.
Okay. So it was March 24th, 2017 when he did that.
All right. So he was 21 years old. At 21, and I'm using this story just to kind of paint a picture because I want people to understand that with Ice Trae, I love Ice Trae, by the way. I just told you I had to apologize, and I'll never bet against Ice Trae again. He'll just have to prove to me that he's going to lose, but I'm not betting against Ice Trae. It's why I picked the Hawks because of what he has done to his opponents thus far. But Devin Booker has been doing this. He's just now getting the credit for it. Mm-hmm. At 21, I dropped 70 points. I'm just carrying a lot of baggage with me of guys that don't understand what it looks like to win. He has a winner in the locker room now, and they brought in some good pieces like Crowder. They drafted well with Aiden. Aiden starting to find his niche. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Devin Booker is going to be one of these guys that we talk about, not in regards to Kobe, because there'll never be another Kobe. But when you talk about elite guys that can just fill it up, and in a league that just demands that you score and have a guy that can go get you a bucket, I have even switched my mentality on what do you need in the ultimate basketball player? Ideally, you need a guy who can just go and get you a bucket whenever. I don't think that ever changes in eras, but what you need is not so much the value of creating for others. I think that's why sometimes LeBron James struggles. Where as talented as he is IQ-wise, we still need LeBron to get a bucket. That's what you saw with Kevin Durant. That's why you see Giannis struggle. With Devin Booker, there is no doubt about it that if you need a bucket, he can get you a bucket. He can do that, and he's only going to get better at doing that. And the thing that I like about Book, every time you present him an opportunity to rise to the occasion, he does. In his first postseason appearance, all he's doing is setting records, franchise records.
I'm finna hurt my argument, but help yours right now.
Okay.
He got those 70s that 70 in regulation. You know how we think about Mike's legendary 6-3 in the playoffs?
In overtime.
6-3 was in overtime, though.
Correct.
You know what I'm
saying? I do.
Got this in regulation. And he had 3 steals that night as well to go with. I ain't gonna say the boys. Y'all know how I feel about boys.
Yeah.
But he had six assists and a block.
Just regular hooping, man. And for him, it comes natural. And that again, that's nothing against Ice Trae. That's why I'm so comfortable with this conversation, because even if I'm wrong in the long run,
but you a point guard though. Oh, I think it just hit me. You a point, and you didn't roll with all Ice. Oh, look at there.
Here's why I don't roll with Ice.
Y'all supposed to be a fraternity, the PGs, man.
Here's why I don't roll with Ice. In this argument, if you take out Book and put in another young gun, I'm going with Ice every time. Just put a new name in. I'm going with Ice.
So, in this case, when we run this back and do Ice versus Luka,
I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now who I'm rolling with.
That's another segment. We can hold that. We gonna do that then. We gonna do that. We gonna get back to that. We gonna get back to that.
We ain't got to, because he's right.
In this case, the only reason I give Book the edge is because we're talking potential.
Okay.
Both of them are average right now when it comes to defense. I would say Ice Trae is a little bit below average. Ice Trae is better when it comes to anticipating steals, but that's more of a ability than a overall defensive craft, if you understand what I'm saying. You can steal the ball. That's not a big deal in the NBA. When
Steph Curry steals the ball.
Steph Curry steals the ball. So it's not about, you don't have to be a great defender to have a lot of steals. I think when you talk about having the ability to grow as a defender, I think Booker can naturally, because he's the bigger guy. His foot speed is great. His IQ is just as good. And the dog in him will want him to be greater. I don't know if Trae has that in him, which is why, and again, this is no slight, which is why he can be the next Steph Curry and a little bit better, because he involves his teammates a little bit more, right?
That boy just dropped that hot take. He dropped the hot take off and was about to just walk out the room on y'all. Y'all heard that hot take.
Which leads me into my point about both of these young men. And this is why I said I don't mind being wrong either way. Because when I say who you got, both of these guys in this super have the ability to be MVPs. Seriously. Steph Curry is an MVP, and he deserves both of them. Don't get me wrong, all right? Steph Curry plays with the second greatest shooter of all time, and a guy that calls himself the GOAT defender. He ain't the GOAT defender, but he's a great defender, okay?
He is good. He is good.
He is good. He is good.
Mm-hmm. Go Green.
Ice Trae doesn't have any of that. He's got a good team around him, a good nucleus, don't get me wrong, but nobody of Hall of Fame status on his team.
Not yet.
Right?
That's true.
So, and he's doing what he's doing right now. So imagine what that looks like once that translates to 55, 60 wins. That's MVP stuff. It really is. All he is missing is the supporting cast to uplift his numbers to make him look like he's a win. He's already winning. He just doesn't have the wins to go with it. Booker is the same thing. I just told you Booker dropped 73 4 years ago. Well, imagine what that looks like next year. Because next year, he's not just surprising folks. Next year, he's coming in and they're winning off top. They're going to be winning off top. And at that point, his name goes into the hat. So if he's dropping 30 next year, and he can drop 30, if you can drop 70, you can drop 30. You don't forget. You don't forget that. Average 30. It can average 30.
Because right now, I was shocked to find out his trey ball percentage wasn't, up there. Because the way they emphasize the trey ball, it's a lot of guys now of around 38, 39%.
That's right. That's right. And I think he's at like 35, 34 right now.
Yeah. I would have thought that was higher.
So it's just one of those things. And again, Trae Young has it too, y'all. So as I say this, this is again, no shot at Trae Young.
Trae might average 30 and 10.
But I think Devin Booker has the ability after this season, regardless of what he does, whether they make it to the finals, win the finals, whatever. Trae Young, yes, is going to be so much better next year. But do y'all know how good Devin Booker's going to be next year once he realizes, I can do this. I just did it in the postseason. I did it when everybody said it was tough. And if you listen to his interviews, he's been saying it. Everybody told me that the playoffs is high intensity as it is, though. But I'm ready for it. This is what I do. Well, next year in the regular season, when everything is quote unquote slow motion, Devin Booker's still going to be killing guys. He's not going to wait until the postseason. He's going to come out of the gates killing, and he has the supporting cast already. Where Trae is still building his, Devin already has CP3, Jay Crowder, Aiden. All of these guys are already around him to do just what I said earlier, inflate those numbers and make him an MVP candidate. What I'm done doing, and I made a mistake in doing this with Kobe Bryant, and I said it towards the end of Kobe's career, before he left here, at the end of Kobe's career, when he tore his Achilles, I guess when he had the micro fracture, I made it a point in my personal fandom, because I don't really have a team. I just hated Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. I said, never again will I hate a great player, because you miss out on so much. I used to watch the games to be like, I just want to see Kobe lose, right? But I wasn't paying attention to how Kobe was strategically, God-given ability, and just flat out dog destroying guys night after night. I said, I'm not doing that anymore. It's why I don't really hate on LeBron as hard as you would think. It's why I don't give KD a hard time after he jumps teams like that anymore, because I'm just in the midst of wanting to see greatness. And Devin Booker and Trae Young are the future. They're the now already, but they are the future. When we watch this league 5 years from now, I'm telling y'all, pay attention. Devin Booker is just 24 years old. It feels like he's been in the league forever already. But he's 24. But he's 24, and Trae is what, 22? Y'all, 5 years from now, these gentlemen are going to be 27 and 30 respectively, hitting their stride. God bless the NBA, because those guys are going to be in trouble with these two young dogs that are going to be seasoned dogs in about 5 years, man. It's going to be beautiful to watch. I don't care who you got, America. I really don't. Either one of these guys, you cannot lose. Just for my money, I'm going with Book, just because Kobe Bryant signed off on him. And that's enough for me in this case, because I know what that does. And plus, I got a chance to see Devin Booker play in person when he was in high school, in an all-star game. And it's something to be said about a high school kid that treats himself and his competition like they're not on the same level. I watched him play against some other guys that were supposed to be next level, and he embarrassed them. And you could tell he was not only the best player on the floor, but he treated it like he was the best player on the floor. It's something to be said about a guy that goes to Kentucky, doesn't even start at Kentucky, and now if it's all dry,
Calipari, your boy Calipari.
Yeah. And so, he was on that same squad, if I'm not mistaken, with Karl Anthony Towns.
Them twins.
The twins, right? So if you can be in the midst of that, the quote-unquote top recruited guys in the country, and when it's all said and done, you're going to be better than all of them. Something to be said about that. It's something to be said about a guy like Trae Young, where everybody keeps saying you're too little to do this. You're not quick enough to do this. But Wells, you said it best. All the man did in college was lead the league in points and assists.
That's all he did.
We got to pay attention because it's like I keep saying, like for the casual basketball fan and for the non-basketball fan, they kind of just tune in here and there. These guys look like they come out of nowhere, but they're not. They've been here the entire time in amongst our eyes and ears. We just haven't been paying attention. Pay attention, because what you're watching right now is greatness. And you're watching it early on where they think they got it, but I'm telling y'all, they still don't even know how good they are and how easy this game is going to be for them in 2 to 3 years, man. I can't wait. Every time one of these guys put up a shot, we're in our group text like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? America, I hope you're watching, because Ice, Trae, and Book, they got it, man. They got it.
Well, America, we want y'all to chime in. Make sure y'all following us over there on Facebook. Put it on some. Make sure you're following us over there on Instagram. Put it on some on Twitter, PIOS_100. And we want y'all to chime in and tell us who y'all got. Ice, Trae, or that boy Book. Put it on something.